Hi, and welcome to this episode of The Purpose Turn. Today, I'm really excited to welcome Emily Watts here with me, who is like an independent business owner. She runs two businesses with her partner, and we dive into her story on how she evolved from being part of a 9 to 5 and exiting that and starting her own thing. As always, these episodes are meant for you if you are wondering about your career and what's meaningful to your life and what you want to do, especially when you are mid-career. My name is Ingo Rauth. I'm the host. And with that, welcome, Emily.
Hello. How are you?
Good. It's so good to have you. I mean,
Thank you.
we met like how many years ago? 4 or 5 now?
Yeah, we're going on 4 almost. Yeah.
4,
4
going on
years.
4.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Emily, for those out there that don't know you, what do you do?
So I I do a lot of things. First thing, I'm going to start off, I'm a mom of 2. That keeps me quite busy. It's my favorite job of the 3 that I have. I call it a job just because it's part of my life and it's full time and it's my favorite thing. And then second thing I do, I co-own a coffee shop called the Lazy Wave. It is located in Petrolia, Ontario. And then on top of that, I also co-own a property management company. We primarily focus on vacation homes, on VRBO, Airbnb, Booking.com, all the above.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And so that sounds like 3 full-time jobs. How are you managing your
Yes.
day?
Well, for me, I feel like I'm a little bit lucky because I have an amazing support system at home with my husband. And then second of all, an amazing business partner that I just feel like I struck gold on. She's my little unicorn. We just balance each other out so much. And because of having such a strong relationship with her, we manage our day so well and we do it side by side all day long.
For a lot of people, that might sound stressful, right? Family,
Yeah.
2 businesses. How do you feel about what you do?
Honestly, it doesn't feel like work to me because I love it so much. It allows me to really utilize all my favorite skill sets. And because of that, it just feels like every day I'm living and I'm doing the things I love. And yeah, it doesn't seem like work to me. So it's
Oh,
because I love what I do.
sounds like a dream to many of us, especially when we're grinding away in a 9 to 5 in a job that we don't like that
Yeah.
much anymore. But I also know it didn't start out for you like that. So
No.
tell us a little bit about what you did before this. What was your 9 to 5 like?
So before this, I feel like honestly the last 5 years has been such a whirlwind because I was in my marketing corporate role working in safety footwear. I loved it so much. It was the first like career job where I felt like I was at home, went to work every day, came home, and then I started my life as a first time mom and then uh, moving to a new city, starting a new, completely different world of jobs with property management company prior to the one I started here, and then had a baby again. So it's just like this last 5 years has been insane. Like I just feel like it's been a bit of a bubble, and I feel like I just actually got out of the bubble a little bit. Uh, so I mean, long story short, for this, I was essentially doing kind of similar work, but for somebody else.
Okay. Similar work for somebody else. And for many of us, that sounds like safety. That sounds like comfort, especially
Yeah.
like when you have 2 kids, right? And you need to like somehow make that work on top of everything else. You might not feel like you can take on anything more than what you already have on your plate. When did that change for you? When was this point where you realized maybe that's
This is going to sound a little crazy, but kind of early on, if I'm being honest, like I took that role with an open mind. It was a new industry that I had never, ever, ever, ever even considered. But the reason I took it was because it was something new. And I'm such a firm believer that you have to continue to try new things to get to like the end, not the end goal, but to your bigger purpose. So, I would say that first year was great and everything, and then I went on my mat leave, and I considered not going back because it was so different, and there was just so much going on that I just didn't see where I would fit in terms of, like, long-term growth, but after, like, a lot of thinking and asking questions and honestly asking for what I wanted before I went back. My previous boss actually gave me the opportunity to kind of essentially create my role myself using the skill sets that I was given. So I went back and I dove in hard that year. And I would say that first year back, from November till the following September, I was in deep. I gave it all my heart and soul. I treated it like it was my own. And then coming up to that full, like, I'm back for a full year, that's when I was like, I don't know if this is for me, or not even this, but this place is for me. So,
Wow. Let me
yeah.
unpack that for a second because you said you were on parental leave, you were thinking about
Mhm.
going back, and somehow it didn't feel like the right thing. But then you had a conversation with your boss about your role and what you wanted it to be.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the first time I've ever done that. There was, because the business itself, there was so many different things happening. There was the real estate side, and then there's also the property management side. I needed to figure out how I fit between the two of those different types of businesses. So asking essentially for, like, this is what I bring to the table. This is how I could see it fit. Does this work for you? And that did work for her because she was looking to streamline her business as well in terms of her team and kind of dividing and conquering. So we weren't all doing everything. And that was the best decision she could have made because it really allowed all of us to learn our skill sets fully. So
Mm.
asking for your what you want is really intimidating, and that was the first time I've ever done that, especially for me personally, because I'm terrible at confrontation, and it's something I'm learning and I'm getting so much better at, but I struggle with asking for what I want. So,
It's really interesting because the way you make it sound, it was like something that was perfectly aligned with the business. It actually supported the business and the business growth. But you still felt it was confrontational.
yeah, looking back now, even when you say that, it should have been a little bit of a red flag for me, but I was so immersed in it, and, like, honestly, becoming a mom of 2 so quickly, I was a whole new person after that. So, this was just the beginning of becoming the best version of myself and a new version of Emily, and it started with asking with what I want, and thank goodness she said yes, because she gave me the ability to really hone in on things that I didn't know I really loved, and now they're what I'm doing now.
Wow.
Yeah, so I definitely, in a weird way, can thank her for that, because if she didn't agree to that, I wouldn't be where I was now.
It sounds like you really converted what you had into the opportunity you wanted, in terms
Yes.
of you developing the skills, the abilities where you felt like, this is what I want to do all day. And
Mhm.
you were able to articulate that and address that with her. Now, where did this clarity come from? Because for a lot of people, it's hard to figure out. Like, if somebody asks me, like, hey, what do you want to do for the rest of your life? You're like, I don't know. What are you good at? Yeah, this, and this. There's a lot of stuff, a lot of thought that has to go into something like this. So how did you get to this clarity?
When I look back at all of the career roles I've ever had, somehow it's such a trust the process situation because I really immerse myself in so many different areas of different industries, and somehow they've all aligned in a really strange way. And I told myself if I ever move back to my hometown, I have to immerse myself within the community because where I'm from, it's very much a community driven place, town. So, with coming into that role after my mat leave, I just told myself, let's jump in, let's put our head down, just try something new. This is what you're good at, trying new things, and at the end of the day, you get something out of it. So I honestly just explored and created, and I just found ways to build relationships with people. And when I started building those relationships with people within the community just by being myself, there was a spark that kind of hit, and it's like, okay, wait, I could do this,
Mm.
and I love this because this brings out the best version of me. It's just me being me, and there's nothing I love more than being a little social. So, like, just yeah, once I started making those relationships with people within the community, that's when I was like, "Okay, there's something here."
So really engaging in line with what's most valuable to you and what you enjoy doing. And with that, attracting the people, the relationships that you ultimately wanted. You might not have known that from the get go, but just like by showing up as the person that you are and doing what you standing up for who you are, it
Yeah,
started to
and
evolve.
there's a part of me, I'm such a daydreamer. I love creating and then when I say create and daydream, like I create experiences for people on a daily basis. So I'm always dreaming of things, and I always like the daydreaming side of me even when I was little. I always thought was like such a not an asset. And now I get to do that full time, and it was a part of me that I just thought was like a flaw going into La La Land, daydreaming about all these different things, but it's just me creating in a different way and like creating relationships with people and how those can collaborate with our business and video concepts and experiences for people. And I'm just realizing, and I'm coming into my own like more now than ever. I'm just learning how to trust myself. And now that I've been able to trust myself and I've gone through what I've gone through in the last year, it's just like, whoa, this is really cool. I never thought I'd get to this point.
It really sounds like the community gave you a container
Yeah.
in which you could blossom and flourish by bringing what you enjoy the most to the benefit of the community.
Yeah, and just seeing, like, the response from people that helped me build my confidence, and then, like, circling back to my business partner, like, I give her so much kudos because, like, imposter syndrome was plastered all over me for so many years, and she honestly, like, helped me strip that away, and I'm so thankful for her, so
Amazing. So sounds like an amazing business partner to have, and she's
yeah,
really complimenting you. How did
she
you find
is,
each
she's the
other?
best. So we worked together for 3.5, 4 years at the previous company that I left back in June. We worked side by side. Our situation was interesting because, like I had mentioned, the owner of the business worked in real estate, and then she had a property management company. And with bringing us on, it allowed her to focus more on real estate, which was really great for her because she trusted us so much. But then that built Courtney and I's relationship. Like it really blossomed. And like, because of our personalities, we just, I don't know, for some reason, we just fit so well. And it's so interesting because you think when you meet people that you work well with, there's like an age thing where you think like because they're close to my age, we get along so well, but there's like 8 years difference between I am the elder of the relationship. But it's such an interesting dynamic with so many years between us. Yeah, we just work so well, and that is due to the fact that we worked so closely at our previous company together, and we got to learn together and blossom. So
We got to learn and grow together. When did the two of you decide, let's do our own thing? Like, how did that happen?
well, that is an interesting story. So I will say from my perspective, last after that last year, when I took that job, I jumped into the role and knew I needed to ask for a raise. That was like the biggest thing for me. If I'm going to take on like this role and treat it like my own, I knew financially there needed to be a change there. And I never asked for it. I thought, you know what? I need to show myself personally that I deserve it before I even show my boss that I deserve it, which is so crazy and honestly unhealthy if I look back now. But I just, I really wanted to feel it. So, like I said, I dove in really, really deep. And come that year back, I asked for it and I didn't get it. And it was really disappointing. But then I had the opportunity to kind of look at why, or is this a place for me? And the way it was handled, I would say I was just a little heartbreaking because you put so much heart and soul into something and then you just feel so devalued. And, you build this role and you have years of experience. And when you kind of just like finally like, okay, this is like, I'm presenting you like what my worth is, and for someone to deny that, it's really heartbreaking. So,
Mm,
I mean, again, that was a good lesson for me because it was confrontation that I had a hard time doing. Like, I really worked myself up to have that conversation and really waited for the right time. It's really tough. And in that moment, I kind of took a step back and I thought, "Oh, assess where I am what am I doing? What are my values? Actually, I don't even know what my values are at this point. So I need to start figuring out what that is. And does this business share any of the same values as I do?
Mm,
So, yeah, I continued to put my head down, and I really burnt myself out by the end of the year, and going into the new year, I knew mentally I was ready to depart, but not I'm a gut follower, and I wasn't ready yet, but in classic Emily form, I added another hat onto my plate, and I took a part-time job on top of my full-time job. And it's crazy. That new boss that I had, she helped me get the fog off of my brain and really showed me what a valued employee looks like and how to treat your employees and how to lead your employees for that matter. And
mm,
she helped me get my creative spark back. So I kind of like rolled with the punches. And then, yeah, there was things that was picking up and things that I was seeing. And I just thought like, no, this business that I'm working for full time doesn't have the same values as me. And in fact, when I'm marketing and advertising this business's values, I am actually marketing mine,
mm.
which felt very false to me. So I decided, okay, it's time to leave. And the person I was working for part time offered me a full time role. So I took it. And at that same time, my now business partner decided she was going through something very similar. And she decided if I was leaving, she was leaving too. So we both decided to kind of leave at the same time. And then honestly, within like, I think I had 2 weeks left of that role, she's like, you know what, I'm going to do it my way. I have my own property. I'm just going to do my thing. Over the course of the fall, there was a lot of conversations happening on kind of what she had been doing. And then the opportunity for a coffee shop came up. And so uh, over a course of a lot of conversations, I jumped ship and we started out of office and the lazy wave all at once.
You make it sound so easy.
It sounds so easy, but you know what? It kind of was because her and I had been working side by side for so many years and built such a good relationship and foundation together that it was easy because we were just essentially doing what we had been doing, but our way with our values and a little bit more fun added to it. So
Mm.
um yeah, it was hard, but it honestly, the hardest thing for me was hurting people's feelings, like, in terms of leaving a job that I moved to full time, and then come November, I was leaving, like, I built a relationship with that business owner, and, like, her and I have, like, past connections, so just, like, hurting her feelings because I know now, like, hiring staff and training staff costs so much as a small business, so I just yeah, really didn't wanna let her down after going through such a traumatic exit from my previous company. It just there was just so much emotion behind it, and I've learned I'm a very emotional person. So, it was hard, but I needed to take that jump because without doing that, I'd still be in the same position that I was in a year from now.
It's
A year
really
ago,
interesting.
sorry.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
way you share it, it seems like there was a moment of clarity when you realized that your values didn't align with the business values. How did you
Yeah,
know
for
what
sure.
your values were or what were your values?
So, I kind of okay, sorry. I just paused. I needed to think about that one. I have learned that human connection is one of the greatest things, and building solid relationships with people with trust and loyalty goes so much further. So for me, my values kind of started to align with human connection and being positive and like being honest and raw and being loyal and working together and connecting and just like community in itself. Like there's literally room for everybody in this universe to do things. It's not competition, it's strength in numbers. And so those are some of the things that I saw that maybe was lacking in my last position. And just honestly, like if someone's working so hard to run your business and you don't see that, that's not something I value. Like there needs to be a sense of leadership and there needs to be some value in and yeah, some value and some investment in your employees. And now seeing that kind of being missed where I was last, that's something that I promised myself I would never do as a business owner. So, yeah, just, and then even just like when it comes to property management, these are people that are spending their hard earned dollars for their investment, but then also for their family vacations. So, like, those are relationships that you need to cherish and you need to treat with respect. And so I just, yeah, again, like my human connection and my like love for life and just doing the best we can while we're here and having as much fun as we possibly can here. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that really answered your question, but
Yeah, I think
yeah.
your values are really clear in terms of community, connection, having fun, enjoying life, right?
Hmm.
And it seems like the previous place was a little bit more transactional, a little bit more about the numbers, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, no disrespect to that because if that's how she plans and wants to run her business, that's absolutely fine, and she's good at what she does for sure, but it didn't align with who I was. Yeah. So it was time to make a change.
And it sounds like that year was really transformative for you
It
because
was. Yeah.
through the clash, you realized this is not me. And then the question was, what do I value if this is not it? And
Yeah.
then through the values, you actually got the language to say, hey, this is what I'm looking for. And it seemed like there might have been still a little bit insecurity about, can I be that? Is that serious? Can I
Yeah.
really like run a business, or can I be my own, be okay with this? Because if your leader is not that, if they're just about the numbers or not sharing the same values, that might feel like a question mark. But then experiencing that other leader and seeing that, hey, what I bring to the table is of value and who
Yeah.
I am is valued and cherished, and my thoughts are right, and what I do is right.
Mhm. I saw a quote the other day or someone say something online, and I'm going to butcher it for sure, but not allowing people to dilute your skill sets and what you're good at. And I feel like there was a little bit of that. Because what I do, I bring a lot to the table, and that should be that we should be meeting halfway, and there should be some sort of, I'm not looking for like, oh my god, you're amazing, but you're so great, but like there needs to be some sort of support and leadership with that. And I mean, a lot of the times the one thing that I would always hear is Emily's so great at what she does, but I actually don't even know what she does. And for a long time I was like, oh, that's so great, I'm good at what I do, she trusts me, she doesn't need to check in. But actually, no, you should know what your employees do.
Mm.
That is just, it felt started to feel a little disrespectful, in my opinion. You should know what I do. I'm helping run your business. So yeah, I just like, I never want to be a business owner that A says that and then B doesn't lead their team and understand that like this is what you do, this is how you lead, this is how you grow. Like I'll never step away.
It seems like that this value of connection and maybe even
Hmm.
fairness is really important to you. And it sounds
Yeah.
a little bit like that was not really met. And even when you think about how you want to lead, this is really showing up, right?
Yeah.
You
Big
are in
time.
sync with yourself. You know how you want to show up, how you want to be treated, and how you want others to treat you. And stepping up for that allowed you to align your work with you and who you are.
Yes. And I even just think back to leaving and giving my 2-week notice. It's like when you've put your heart and soul into something for almost 4 years, and the response is, well, you got to do what you got to do. I just, what? that, what? So, yeah, now that I have my own team of staff and with both businesses, it's like never, like, whether you're here for a long time or a short time, whatever that is, let's value you as much as we possibly can within that time frame. Because when you leave here, we want you to talk highly about us, not just because we want a good reputation, but because we want you to feel that way. We want you to feel supported. We want to make sure that you have what you need to excel. And we've only got one life here, so you got to make the most of it. Sure.
I love how your business is a true expression of what you uniquely value and want to bring
Yeah.
to this world. and that it's more meaningful than just, you know what, I do this because I want to make money.
Exactly. Yeah. Eh, I mean, we want to make money so that we can keep the doors open, but at the end of the day, it's Out of Office Collective and the Lazy Wave Collective is because we're building a collective of community. And that's what we strive for every single day. And with Out of Office, it's building relationships with our homeowners, our guests, any brands that we can partner with, and then our community on how we can, like, some way, shape, or form get involved. And then with the Lazy Wave is a place that you can come into that you feel safe and creative, and you can build your own community within. And we have been so lucky to already begin to build such a huge community within our walls within the last 3 months. We opened in January, at the end of January. So just like the connections we've made already has been really beautiful.
Amazing. That's so great to hear.
Hmm.
Emily, if there's somebody out there listening to you and being like, yeah, I'm giving my 9 to 5 my all and I'm just not loving it. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I don't know, like, can I be doing this? Should I be doing this? What would you recommend a person in similar shoes to do when they feel like they're not valued, but they're really working a lot and they're thinking about changing?
So I think I put myself in those shoes, obviously. I started with just taking a step back and like assessing where I was. And is this what I really asking myself hard questions? Like, is this what I want to be doing? And diving deeper into, yeah, like we've been talking throughout this whole conversation about values. Like, what are your values and do those align? If they don't, that's okay. It's a scary thing to recognize. And then in terms of making change, I've done it before in the past with other roles. I've not been happy where I have been, and I've left those roles and moved on to new ones. And I wouldn't say it was failure, but like it's okay to make the wrong moves because essentially at the end of the day, you're going to get something from it. So just keep trying new things. Like just keep trying them and learning from them and making mistakes and moving and shifting and just trust the process. Like, just trust the process. It's so scary. And there's going to be highs and lows, valleys and hills and all of the things. But you just have to trust the process. And when you're making these jumps into new positions and roles or businesses, just think like, is there growth? Is there a value? Can I see my doing this every single day? And if there's an answer here and there, yes, take it. And who knows what you're going to get from it. Like just show up authentically, be yourself, and just, yeah, trust the process. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
easier said than done, but it's worked for me so far in my 38 years of life.
Emily, thank you so much for sharing
Yes.
your experience and your
Thank you.
expertise. And if people want to reach out to you, what would be a good way to learn more about your business, your story, and what you're doing?
So for Out of Office, our website is outofofficecollective.ca, and then our social media pages for Out of Office and the Lazy Collective online.
Emily, thank you so much for spending the time here
Yeah.
with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.